Welcome to the Seesaw Podcast. You may experience thrills, spills, and other outtakes that may not be suitable for children and other audiences, etc. I can't remember it. I need a minute to think.
One, this episode may contain language and content that some listeners may find offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
Viewer excretion is advised.
Yeah, your face.
Welcome to the Seesaw Podcast with T and Cleaves.
Each week, offering up a blurry perspective on life.
Welcome to an episode of outtakes. Okay, I flubbed it. I flubbed it. I was going to say episode of outtakes, and then I went episode, and then I just kind of tried to make it into a Texas thing.
You channeled your inner Dolly Parton.
I did. I was working 9 to 5, and it turns
way to
out
make a living.
it is not a great way to make a living. If anything, you need to work less hours for more money.
That is the dream. £1 million an hour. Work 2, you're done.
Yeah, arguably one's enough.
I don't know. Especially if you get fired after the time you finish. You want to make sure you put in your hours.
Let's be fair. All you need to really do is work a week to be set for life.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, that isn't the point of this.
We are doing outtakes episodes.
Cool.
I don't know why I can't make it work.
So we're doing outtakes.
This
This is all stories that were in previous episodes, but we just didn't think that they were good enough, or they rambled on a bit too much.
Don't. Why are you making them sound bad?
They're still funny, but maybe they didn't fit in with the theme of the episode.
Yeah. That's more like I'd like to market them as a not this is so shit that we had to take it out, and then here's the shit.
Yeah. What you said. So first up, we have a few stories that were cut from the Balloon Society episode.
A little background into T's life at the leisure centre.
Yeah, these weren't funny enough to be in the real episode.
Wow. I don't know. I liked the first one. Like, it was an interesting insight to the Lido, mainly because I'd been there and slopped about in the pool. It was good to know.
Flailed about, I'd like to say.
Flailed? Rude.
Oh, we hope you enjoy these. Have an ice cream.
Have an ice cream. Don't melt.
Short stories with T and Cleaves. Cut enough shit we can make a full episode of short stories with T and Cleaves. Short stories with T and Cleaves.
Warning, episode may not be short.
When I worked at the leisure centre, we had a blanket ban on ice cream people. Like, showing up
People
in our
made of
car
ice
park.
cream.
Yes. Entirely made of ice cream because they just melted. They just clogged up everything. But we had so many times where they'd come and park, like come into our car park.
Yeah. There he is again.
There he is.
Good old Bilton. We forced him in.
But they'd come into our car park on like the busy days, and it's like, no, piss off. Oh, we got our own little cafe that we sell ice cream. It's like, get out of here.
Wait, did you make the ice cream? Did you sell the twisters? Was it a leisure centre thing, or did?
No, it wasn't like a soft scoop or anything like that. But we had like a freezer, like a chest freezer. You know the ones you get in like a shop with a sliding lid.
What did the leisure centre buy the ice cream and sell them, or was it someone else that you hired in to do it?
Originally, it was from another leisure centre down the way.
Down the way, of course.
And they had like a cafe and stuff like that. We didn't have a cafe, and their staff would come over, and we had like a shack out the back shack. And
really,
and they started selling food, and the food was horrible. Like, they'd sell like the ice creams, like your Magnums and like your Twisters and other ice creams that are available, of course. But they'd also do. Have you ever had a boiled burger?
Like steamed ham.
Don't think they were ham, but yes, steamed hams, pretty much.
Steamed hams.
They would do steamed hams, chips, and ice cream. And this came from like the cafe.
You make it sound like that's part of the burger.
No, not with the burger. You could buy it separate.
Like a cheeseburger with a lump of vanilla on top.
I suppose you could do that.
Oh, ice cream sandwich, but with a burger.
I mean, I dip my chips
in ice cream.
There he is.
It's a bit okay. Firstly, he never comes around, and then you can't get rid of the fucker.
He's now getting annoying.
Yeah.
But I dip my chips in like a milkshake.
Yeah, it's not a milkshake though. Oh, okay, all right.
Milkshake is just Ford ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah. Okay, fine.
Don't open this debate here. Anyhow, it was originally like from like internal, but then
internal ice cream, chocolate ice cream. Is that what you're implying?
Extra nuts.
Oh, god damn.
But then we realised that we could outsource to other companies. We put the contract out to tender. And a company in Portsmouth bought it one year. And I think it was like 20 grand for the contract.
What? Wait. So they pay 20 grand, right? And they just turn up at your like Lido Leisure Centre and just pitch up outside.
We had we still had the shack.
The back shack.
Attack. So they could use that. And it had cooking facilities in it and stuff like that.
So the shack was just a shack. It wasn't like a franchise. Like it wasn't something that you did. It was literally a shack.
Yes.
Hobo penthouse.
Yes, it was basically something that we had to prop up when it was windy. Because it was that bad.
That sounds unstable. That sounds against regulations.
Oh, you'd be surprised what's against regulations. So we would sort of put the contract to tender, and they had to spend I think it was 20 grand. But they could keep all of their profits, of course.
It's just to be clear, tender spend a 20 grand.
Yes, exactly.
It's a lot of money.
It is
20 grand. How long did they get the
8 weeks.
That's not that long.
No, it's not. But that's how long the season was.
They've got to make a lot of money on ice cream for that. Plus pay the staff.
They made it back in 3 weeks.
Fuck off.
3 weeks.
Surely not just selling ice cream. Do you get like the burger vans and stuff as well?
What they also did, they wasn't just ice cream, but they came in and they gourmeted the shit out of it. Like they did crepes, they did burgers, they did little like cups of like
semen,
probably
samples.
But they did like cups of like various foods, like what was it? They did like chip cones and stuff like that.
Everyone has a chip cone. If you're paying more than £1 for a chip cone, it's not $19.95.
Well, it was more than £1 for the chip cone.
Was it £2?
But it was around that, yeah. But they were doing like churros as well, like churros with chocolate and something like. They brought a load of stuff in, and like within 3 weeks they'd made their money back because it was, luckily for them, incredibly hot and sunny. Like it was beautiful. Like we were turning people away at the door because we had a capacity of, I think it's like 3,500.
3,500 at that place.
Yes, that was the capacity, 3,500.
That's too many.
It was too many.
They'd be like, no, but like I've been to that leisure centre. I've been to the Lido. I've been with you before you started working there.
Yes.
When we dipped about on the slides.
Oh, we were very drunk.
Yeah, didn't we take red wine and coke in?
No, Katie took red wine and coke.
I love red wine and coke.
Oh, it's a horrible mix. I think we had Jack Daniels and coke. I think that's what we were going with.
All right, and whatever. The point is, it's...
all I can remember is we were going down the slide, and then I got to the top quite drunk, and there was like a 16-year-old. And at the time, I was in my mid-20s, and the young lad who's the lifeguard at the top went, "Oh, you're a bit old." And I went, "Don't back chat to me, young man." And then I went down the biggest slide just to prove him wrong.
Yeah, you went on the big slide.
Yeah, which was the worst one. Because the big blue spirally slide where you get stuck because it's not a stiff enough gradient.
Wait. When you say you get stuck...
Well, you just don't move, do you? You just don't slide.
I mean, I did.
You got to shuffle.
Mate, no. You need to go down on your heels and your shoulder blades. That's how you get down the fastest. Everyone knows that.
I know that I nearly gave myself a concussion on one of them because it levels out halfway.
Well, yes. Yeah, well,
too much speed, mate.
No, there's no such thing. Concussion's part of the ride.
It's also a part of rugby and American football.
Wow.
At least that's what they're saying
You
in
went dark
court.
there. You went dark.
Just like those Bourneville ice creams. I mean, one thing that stands out to me, it's just something that just pops to my mind. I have a lot of stories about working at a leisure centre in general. So there was one gentleman, very notorious for dropping weights. Don't drop weights. Let me just say that. Don't drop weights if you are in the gym. Firstly, because if you drop them on someone, it will shatter their foot or something like that. And they are very expensive. Like, they're not your Argos weights. Like, one set of dumbbells in a gym will usually cost the same as a set of dumbbells at somewhere like Argos or Decathlon. Don't drop them, because if you damage them, the gym will charge you. I have charged more than a few people for dumbbells in the past, and they've been shocked when I've given them a number of £250, £300 because they've damaged them, because that's how much they cost. So that's the first little thing. There was a gentleman who was notorious for doing this. Every day he was told to stop dropping the weights.
What was his name?
Let's just call him John. That's not his name.
I wanted you to come up with a better name than that.
I know, but let's just call him John.
Why can't you call him Jim?
Well, okay, let's call him Jim then. Let's call him Jim. Just you big baby.
We're only talking about the gym. Let's call the guy Jim.
Fine, let's call him Jim, because that won't be confusing.
Exactly.
So he'd always drop these weights, and he'd be at the weight section of the gym. See, this is why it's going to be confusing. And we'd say it all the time, Jim, stop dropping them. And he'd always give you a bit of attitude. One day you get a knock on the office door, and he's complaining that someone's broken his phone. So it's a brand new iPhone, like made of glass, and it's just been annihilated. I'm thinking, what's gone on here? And I was like, okay, well, leave with me. I'll just... Yeah, he wanted compensation. He wanted us to claim on our insurance. So we're like, okay, we'll get back to you about this. Well, CCTV footage. Go on to it. So he's got his like Beats by Dre wireless headphones on, and we're watching the time. And he's dropping the weights all willy-nilly on over the floor. And he's got his phone on one of the benches. So it's on the end of one of like the little weights benches where you lie down on. And he's got his phone there playing his music. And someone distracts him, like someone's just asking him a question. So he turns to the side and like, pulls his headphones down. And he's got a huge dumbbell in one of his hands. Huge one. It must be around 25, 30 kilos. And just out of instinct, because he always does it, he lets go of the dumbbell. It's usually a bravado thing. Big bang in the gym. Oh, look how heavy I'm doing this. And you see on the camera, it's over his phone on the end of the desk, on the bench. As he drops it, it just bounces. And spoiler alert, dumbbell beats iPhone. And it just... It
wasn't really a spoiler alert, was it? Because you alluded to that at the start.
Yeah, I did. It's not a very good story. But...
in retrospect, it was kind of a rip-off.
Needless to say, he didn't get his money. I called him into the office. He came into the office when...
Did you get him to watch the footage?
Yes.
Nice. I would have loved it. That would have been the best part, I think. Excuse me, sir, is this you? Yes.
Yeah.
Is this your iPhone? Yes. Is this a dumbbell in your hand? Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty much like that. And he was like, oh, I didn't know you had cameras.
So you thought you tried to scam us?
Yeah, basically he tried to scam us because he had dropped a dumbbell on his brand new iPhone, just destroying it. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those stories.
They were cut for a reason.
Yeah, they were. So next we're going to take some stories that were cut from our original games episodes. The one that we didn't want to air. We just didn't think it was good enough.
We got too drunk. I got too drunk. Probably it was the main problem.
Yeah, so there might be a little bit of like slurriness here and there, maybe. But the stories are still quite funny. They're only short, so persevere.
The main point of it is Kirby, what a legend.
Short stories with tea and Cleaves. You'll be sick to the back teeth of this jingle by the end of things. Short story with tea and Cleaves. Short stories with tea and Cleaves.
Warning, these stories may contain excessive love for Kirby.
So I like to play a lot of retro games. Kirby. Remember Kirby? That little fat pink thing? That was pretty good. Swallowed stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the world's biggest cock gobbler.
I
It wasn't marketed as that, admittedly, from Nintendo. But he'd literally put anything in his mouth.
yeah.
And it became the thing that it swallowed as well. So why Kirby wasn't one giant dick, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with that. Okay, so the point is you go for a lot of old school stuff. I like games where I can go at my own pace. Aside from the one that we're going to talk about in a little bit, I won't mention that one.
Kirby's Dream Land.
Not Kirby's Dream Land. But I think that the point is a lot of these games are... I'm either playing them with someone to sort of carry the load, or they are very specifically that they have to be viewable, like bright, blocky kids games, I suppose you'd say. Providing they're like bright and colourful and not
Like
too
Kirby.
dark, like Kirby.
Why have they not made a Kirby update?
I think there is one.
Is there actually?
Yeah, but I haven't.
It's on Nintendo, there's going to be no accessibility options.
They are the worst for accessibility by far.
Alright, fine. So the game that we have been playing recently, to the point that we've disregarded all of our friends to play it,
Yes, we have done that.
Last of Us 2.
Yes, The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying the actual full title in case people.
I'm sorry that I
pretend
missed
to
out the
know.
word part. It's the second one, in it?
Yeah.
I never played the first one, but you filled me in. Basically, zombies, but they don't call them zombies.
Fungus guys.
Yeah, infected, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Infected, run around, trying to munch you. They're not zombies, though.
They still want to munch.
They still want to munch, yeah.
They love a good munch.
Look, I'm not even going to mention Kirby. There's going to be so little people that know about Kirby as well. It's a little pink piece of chewing gum. Just fucking Google it. I'll buy a hat and take it off.
Yes. Or borrow a hat, lose it, get a replacement, pretend that you didn't get a replacement until I comment on the fact that it completely feels like a different
All
hat.
right, let's be fair. All right, if we're going to do this, let's do it properly. T lent me a hat. I went to Vegas. I drank a lot of whiskey sours. I drank a lot of beer. Played a lot of slots. I took T's hat off, put it down on the slot machine, and I walked away. It's probably in the Flamingo still somewhere. I don't know. The point is, I bought you pretty much the same hat back, and then casually put it in your room so you would know none of the difference. It was still a black hat. It still said Under Armour on it. What more do you want?
Same material.
It was basically the same material. Do you know how much Under Armour caps cost? Apparently quite a lot.
Yeah, because I bought the first one.
What, the first ever Under Armour cap? Fuck off.
No, I bought the first hat in this story, so I know how much they cost because I lent you one that cost me a lot of money.
In the story, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
in the story. I thought you meant that you bought the first ever Under Armour black cap.
Oh yeah, back in like 1817. Yeah, I bought
Well,
the
that's what
first
I'm
fucking
saying.
Under Armour hat. Yeah.
Look, the point is, I appreciate that you lent it me, and also I tried to sneak one back into your room, and if anything, you got a nicer one. Because it's more updated.
No, it wasn't.
Like, the one you gave me was like 2016 Under Armour. The one I gave you was like 2019 Under Armour. So, like, I've updated it by like 3 years.
For shit.
3 years updated, and you got no respect for that.
I didn't know that Rodney Dangerfield was here. No respect.
That's all I'm saying. I bought you a lovely hat, brand new, from Vegas, and I bought you some delicious sweets back.
Yeah, I was very appreciative of that.
So the point is this: enjoy your hat. Don't complain about the material because it's now more eco-friendly, I assume, because it's from 2019. And if anything, it looks better on you. And it's more stretchy as well, so it can fit anyone.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Welcome back again.
Third time, the charm.
Third time is the charm.
Ball-cuppingly good.
Apparently so. So after the failed games episode of a few weeks back, we decided to just riff, and for some reason we ended up on theme parks.
We tried so hard that week.
We really did.
Like, we realised that we'd failed on the game episode and just thought, let's just record some shit and see how it turns out. And I tried to talk about Cadbury World for a bit, but it's not on here. And then we started talking about theme parks.
Oh, Cadbury World is coming, but not on this episode.
Oh, it's coming.
It is. That chocolatey goodness is coming. So enjoy this snippet of theme parks.
Short stories with tea and Cleaves. At this point, I'm just doing it for my own entertainment. Short stories with tea and Cleaves. Short stories with tea and Cleaves.
Warning, writing the smiler may not cause you to smile, but may cause loss of limbs. Alton Towers in no way endorse this podcast.
These spikes are ridiculous.
Mum's ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Let me ask you this question then. What are your thoughts on theme parks?
They used to be better.
They used to be better.
Back in my day.
Like, they've got better rides nowadays.
I've been to a proper one in a while.
We went to Chessington for my 30th birthday.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we just blocked that out from your memory.
Well, you were there.
Cleaves' birthday. No one gives a fuck about that.
Well, you were there, so I have to block it out.
It had a zoo. I saw some ostriches.
It had PTSD from Cadbury's World, so...
Ostriches. Ostri. I like to call several ostriches ostri.
Australians.
No.
Better than what you said.
What, ostri?
Yeah.
You went Australians because I went ostri and it sounds like Australian. That's exactly where you went that from.
Exactly, I built upon your shit idea.
Look, the point is, Chessington World of Adventure, right, is one of 3 theme parks from... Is it Madame Tussauds owned? I think it is Madame Tussauds. Merlin, yes.
Merlin.
But they own Madame Tussauds as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
But the 3 main ones in the UK, Alton Towers, Chessington, and Thorpe.
Yeah.
I've never been to Thorpe, but I hear it's a more compact version of Alton Towers.
It's more of a water park. It's more heavily based around water slides and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if it is.
It is.
Thorpe Park, you're thinking of the right one.
Yes.
You're not thinking of Whitewater Valley.
No, I've been to Thorpe Park like 5 times.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not like Alton Towers?
No, I've never been to Alton Towers, so I can't compare.
We need to go to Alton Towers. Oh shit, that's what we should do for the podcast, right? Like, just go to Alton Towers and just blinkies on rides.
We can do. Of course, that would be on the social media, not a podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it would be a good podcast. Putting a microphone on and then getting someone from Alton Towers to be our guide for the day and see how frequently they get pissed off.
Oh, this is a good point, actually, isn't it? Because you have to now be, like, upper tier disabled to get the good shit at Alton Towers. Like, when I first started going to Alton Towers, right, I was on, like, lower rate benefits. And I used to get a free carer and up to 1, 2, 3 other people, like friends, that could come on the ride with me and skip the queue. Nowadays, you have to be like full blinky, full. What's the word?
You need to have a severe impairment.
Severe impairment, yes, that's definitely what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You need to be. You have to have a severe impairment and be on higher rate PIP to get the queue jump, and the 3 other people on the rides, which is a shame, because again, it depends on your disability, doesn't it? Like, you might be on minimum benefits, but like it was me, I was blind. I couldn't really see to get around the entrance and exit ways very well, so I needed someone to guide me, and that was on minimum benefits.
Yeah.
But now you have to be on maximum, and maximum implies that you can't stand in the queue because you get like tetchy or grossed out by other people, which is fine. But you can have that minimum benefits, and then arguably again, if you're disabled and you have a wheelchair, you could probably queue up in the regular queues for most parts, unless they've got steps or whatever. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the main queues to rides are not really accessible for disabled people.
And the issue I have is finding, like, sometimes they have disabled entrances.
They're tricky to find.
They are. They don't signpost them.
A lot. Sometimes as well, they are the exits, and that's the most embarrassing thing. The worst part is at Alton Towers, the disabled entrance to the rapids at Alton Towers is the exit, and it's a long exit.
Yeah.
You better believe you're wheeling your way around the exit for quite some time.
Yeah.
Before you get to the actual rapids. The best thing to do is actually just go down the exit and then just hop over when you get to the bridge. There's like a little bridge before there, and you just hop over and just be like, yeah, this guy's blinky.
Not in a wheelchair.
Get him on. Well, no, but...
Not hopping over, are you?
No, true. There's a ramp, but I mean, you throw it.
Grind the rail.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Right, okay, in Tony Hawk's Underground 2, I'm pretty sure there was a guy called Paulie, Wheels of Fury. And, he was a guy in a wheelchair, and he did, like, loads of grinds, and you can basically do any kind of trick on Tony Hawk's, but in a wheelchair.
Progressive.
Pretty sick. Yeah. No doubt. Although I do kind of think it was basically a comedy element. However, still pretty sick, actually, I'll be honest, yeah.
Yeah. Fair play. So on theme parks, I think this was... all the benefits were kind of ruined by Disney.
Yes, yeah, okay, yeah. Right, yeah. Firstly, let's do the serious story. Disabled people at Disney were saying to people, hey, look, come with me. I'll get you queue jump. Just pay for my ticket. Disabled people make a little bit of money because they get the money from they say, pay for my ticket. The people there, you get up to like 3 people on the ride with them. They get to queue jump. Everyone wins. Although, arguably, does everyone win? Because a disabled person gets, 40 quid? 40 quid for a day. Is that good pay?
That's not what I heard. Like,
Alright,
you're roughly there. So from what I heard was that Disney used to have a scheme where you used to get 4 carers if you were...
Same Alton Towers.
And same as a lot of places at the time. But you used to get 4 carers, and you used to get different, you used to get wristbands. The wristbands used to be sort of a uniform colour, you wouldn't have one for the disabled person and another colour for the carers. It would all be the same coloured wristband. A disabled person, in theory, could go and buy their ticket to the park, let's say for 50 quid or $50 or whatever. Get their 4 wristbands and say, okay, my carers are just they're just parking the car or stuff like that. Can I have my wristbands? And they'd give them to you. What they would then do is they'd go out and then they'd see a family of, say, 4 and then turn around and say, look, because these wristbands were free, they'd turn around and say, look, these wristbands will get you onto rides super quick. No fast pass, nothing. Instead of giving 50 quid per person at the counter, give me 150 quid. These wristbands will work and you get fast tracked. Then they were scalping the wristbands. And they would do this, say, over a weekend, to the point where you could afford, as a disabled person, to pay for your entire trip and enjoy a Disney adventure, and you could make all
that was the main part of it. I got a Disney adventure.
A whole new world.
Hold your legs if it's better.
God damn. But this is what the problem was. That people were doing this and making fair amounts of money.
Disney shut down the disabled.
And then Disney were like, we're putting an end to this nonsense.
Let's be fair. I hate to say it, but arguably rightly so.
Rightly so. But they went too far the other way. They made it very hard to prove you're disabled. They took away any disabled benefit you get inside. You can't just shut to a ride anymore and be like, oh, I'm getting on. They took away a lot of the benefits of it for those of us who were legitimately using the system. Because it's just their time. Once you're inside, the resource is the same. It wasn't costing them anything really to do this. It was a drop in their profits, but quite a small drop in the barrel, really.
Let me ask you this. Should disabled people get on the rides first? What makes them better than other people?
The problem with this is I think in some cases, yes. But in other cases, no.
In what cases, yes?
So, for people like me and you, no. Queue the same as everyone else.
No, true. I get that, but also at the same time, the fact that they give me blinky passes means I'll take advantage of it.
But yes, exactly. But this is the problem. Like, it's just such a blanket thing.
I mean, I can do on a good day. I can do Alton Towers by 1 o'clock. I can get there at 9. Do Alton Towers by 1 o'clock, and then I'm bored. Like, what should we go on again?
Yeah.
Whereas most people haven't got on 3 rides by that point.
Yeah. I think if someone has autism,
that's fair.
Or
the
Down
legit,
syndrome.
Like, yeah, they can't. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think in these instances with severe disabilities, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no distinction because Alton Towers aren't going to turn around and say we have a Down syndrome, autism, severe cerebral palsy, or motor function condition policy. But if you're blind or deaf or paraplegic,
then arguably,
then your stuff like you're on a different thing. They don't have scales. It's either you're or you're not.
Then maybe that is the best that they're currently doing in the terms that they say if you're on high disability, you can get the thing. Maybe that's the best they can do under the circumstances.
I think so because they're getting someone else to do the qualifying for them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Mainly because I get to go on the rise without queuing.
Chessington was good.
Chessington was suck.
We found out too late that we could have done the get in quick thing because we actually queued like normal people.
Oh no! I tell you what it was. At the time I wasn't on higher rate, and neither were you. No. I tell you what it was. I wasn't on higher rate, but you were on higher rate. Yeah. But you just moved to PIP, and they hadn't started giving you higher rate yet.
Yeah,
so
I
had no proof.
I had no proof. Yeah.
So we had to queue like dicks.
And then we got offered the vampire, I think, and then the bloke was like, "Why didn't you come the other way?" I was like, "Dude, my thing ain't come through yet." Yeah. He's like, "If you want to do it again, just come down disabled entrance around there." And I'm like, "All right, fine." But if we get to the end of the day, and we're like, "Yeah, we ain't got time. We're going. Like, we've got
vampire was
dinner."
one of the last things we went on, wasn't it?
Yeah, 'cause we had dinner. Like we had dinner booked, didn't we? Yeah. So we had to leave.
Yeah.
So
shit. Oh, that was a good day, man. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, but theme parks, bit of a funny one. They don't signpost it well enough. Like too many people took advantage, so they got to bug up their arse.
I mean, arguably, rightly so. They had to close it down a little bit.
I agree. I do, but I don't know. I don't really have anything to follow up about that. I agree. They had to close it down a little bit. People shouldn't be profiting off of being disabled.
No, I'll give you that. Not for the sheer fact that you're disabled, you shouldn't be profiting off that.
Yeah, I agree. And you could debatably say Disney, like billionaire tyrant, huge organisation, and if you make a little bit of money, a disabled person, and like a family from the Netherlands get some cheap tickets and get like a good day for them and their kids. Okay, you can make that argument, fine, but we're talking about what's fair as the whole.
Yeah.
And that's not. It's just not, because there are people who play by the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
And for all of those who play by the rules, like we did, even if we had the higher rate at Chessington that one time, I was, apart from a few exceptions, I still would have happily queued. It's not a big issue to me.
So you might have. I'm fucking...
You're Mr. Impatient.
Mate, I'm Eagle Fang. I would have totally taken that, taken the disabled entrance. If I got the banner... The only time that I've not legitimately queued whilst I'm having the disabled band is... there was the time that Alton Towers had the Smiler incident, shall we say, where that person lost their leg. And we went maybe a month or so after that, me and some people from work. Me and JC got fucked on vodka anyway before we even got there. The point is, me and JC went on everything right, and there was 0 queues. And that's the only time I've used it, because there was no queues. No one wanted to go to Alton Towers because the safety was in question. Whereas I think if you've had an accident like that, the safety is never going to be higher after that. Because...
You're talking about an anomaly as well. Like, now put it this way, just if a theme park has an accident on one ride, it doesn't mean all the rides are unsafe.
No, it's true. But if you have an accident on one ride, you're going to tighten up everything, aren't you? Because the world spotlight is on you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, blah blah's lost their leg. Shit. Okay, we need to tighten up everything.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to go because they're like, oh my god, it's unsafe. I'll tell you what, it's going to be the most safe now.
The thing is, historically, I would say that theme parks were really unsafe. Like when we were growing up, like 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Fairgrounds,
I think they
maybe.
were. That, even then, I say theme parks probably not too bothered because like the law wasn't necessarily there to slam them. Like if things went wrong, they went wrong. Like that's how it was, especially for smaller ones. But nowadays, the repercussions for fucking up so huge.
Yeah.
So you can't just get like the gormless teenagers who you used to press buttons like a chimp trying to get a feed pellet. You can't get them anymore because you get them to sign a contract when they start. Like people, like young people who start at like Alton Towers, they'll have, I guarantee they have to sign contracts saying, if I kill someone through negligence, it's entirely my fault. I signed this knowing all of this is the case. So
Yeah,
I
the thing
guarantee they're super vigilant just because they can't
Those
afford
people
to.
aren't going to be starting on like Nemesis, though, are they? Those people are going to be starting on like Squirrel Nutkin in the
But
kids'
how
park.
long? When you have like staff turnaround, how quickly do you get onto Nemesis?
Well, I don't know.
I think we need to reach out to Alton Towers,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
and I'd like to speak to like people who have worked there and go, okay, what's the process?
There actually was a documentary on Tower.
I watched it. It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't actually. It was quite interesting. That COVID one on Towers.
Yeah.
I think me and you watched it for the same reason. It was on after Bake Off.
Yeah, it was on that.
Yep. Okay, fair.
And I couldn't move after Bake Off because we usually ate many confections during that. And I'm just like, oh,
So many
bakery.
things. Yeah.
Oh, damn you, patisserie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bakery on roller coasters as well.
The last time I, steak pie on Nemesis,
Okay.
just couldn't do it.
Well, we hope you enjoyed those short stories with Tea and Cleaves.
If you didn't, then tough shit, really. You've got this far. You listened to the outro.
And
There'll probably be more in future.
there probably will be. This is just the tip of the iceberg as far as stories. A lot of hijinks happen when you're a Blinky.
This is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to shit that we've cut from other podcasts
Oh yeah, and there's a lot more.
for good or bad reasons.
Yeah, but it's still salvageable. It just didn't fit those other ones.
Still think maybe we cut it for a reason.
Well, we'll see what the feedback is.
Thanks for listening to the Seesaw Podcast.
You can find us on Facebook at Seesaw Podcast, Twitter, Seesaw Pod. You can email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram at Seesaw Podcast or Seesaw Pod, depending on which one we want. But get us on the other places. This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.
That was a short stories episode with Tea and Cleave. Some shit outtakes with an even shittier overplay jingle. Short stories with Tea and Cleave's episode. The episode clocked in at
39 minutes, 14 seconds.